right, good morning, everybody.
We do. I know you do.
All right, we're going to start again. Good morning.
Good morning.
At events in the forest preserves of Cook County, we begin with our land acknowledgement. The forest preserves of Cook County acknowledges that we are on the lands of the Council of Three Fires, Ojibwa, Ottawa, and Potawatomi, as well as the Miami, Ho-Chunk, Menominee, Sauk, and Mishwaki peoples. As a land management agency, we acknowledge that we have played a role in shaping the histories of local Native American nations by acquiring this land. We also recognize, share, and celebrate their immemorial ties to this land. We commit ourselves to developing deeper partnerships that advocate for the progress, dignity, and humanity of the many diverse Native Americans who still live and practice their heritage and traditions on this land today. I want to thank everyone for joining us for this celebration. I particularly want to acknowledge the elected officials and leaders of the forest preserves. Cook County Commissioner Maggie Trevor. You don't have to applaud, that's okay. Wait until the end.
Okay.
State Representative in Village of Rosemont, Mayor Brad Stevens. Village of Franklin Park, Mayor Barrett Peterson. Barrett Peterson is not only mayor, he's a member of the Cook County Democratic Party Central Committee. I'm grateful to him for his work. Clerk Ariana of Franklin Park. Trustee Karen Special of Franklin Park. The Village of Schiller Park Mayor Nick Kayafa and Village Trustees Russell Klug and Thomas Deegan. Village of River Grove Mayor David Guerin and Eileen Fiegel, our interim general superintendent of the forest preserves. I'd like to thank Michael Albert and Caden Marshall, who are our sign language interpreters today. Thank you all for your help and support. Behind me you see a new bridge. This new pathway replaces an underpass for the Des Plaines River Trail that was often muddy or flooded and impassable. This bridge is not only a better way for hikers and bikers to get across Lawrence Avenue as they enjoy the forest preserves, but it also symbolizes our ongoing commitment to alternative transportation options and the improvement of our public lands. The more than 350 miles of paved and unpaved trails in the forest preserves of Cook County are a gateway to nature. These trails are the most popular way to enjoy our preserves. I'm proud to say that under my administration, we've prioritized improving and expanding our trail systems. Today, we stand at the southernmost point of a 4.4 mile, $12.5 million project that's been underway for years. This initiative has been made part of the Des Plaines River Trail system, and it makes the trail safer, more enjoyable to use, and better connected to local communities. A project of this magnitude requires numerous partners, and I want to recognize the Village of Rosemont, the City of Park Ridge, the Village of Schiller Park, and the West Central Municipal Conference for their major roles. Their support includes securing federal and state funding to make this possible. I'm proud to say that our Cook County Department of Transportation and Highways, under the leadership of Sis Killen, contributed the majority of the required matching funds. As some of you may be aware, we get lots of federal support for infrastructure, but often there's a local match that's required, and we in Cook County have helped our municipalities provide that local match so they can access the federal dollars. Special recognition must go to Mayor Peterson for his vision and leadership. Thank you, Barrett. And thanks to Christopher B. Burke Engineering and the staff at the Forest Preserves for their dedication in designing and completing these critical improvements. I know there's more to come on the Des Plaines River Trail so that generations can continue to enjoy this important resource. But today, let's celebrate this milestone together. I want to thank you for your attention, and now I'd like to introduce Forest Preserves of Cook County Interim General Superintendent Eileen Fiegel. And again, would everyone please introduce the speaker who follows. Thank you so much.
Thank you, President Preckwinkle, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
The Des Plaines River Trail is one of our most popular trail systems, and we are thrilled today to cut the ribbon on these latest improvements. We have added this new bridge and a new boardwalk on a stretch of trail that had a history of closures due to flooding. We improved street crossings at 6 locations, including clearer pedestrian signals, ADA improvements, and in some cases, rerouting the trails to improve safety. And we widened and resurfaced the trail as needed across more than 4 miles. Heading north from here, hikers, bikers, runners, dog walkers, horseback riders, and even cross-country skiers in the wintertime travel through oak woodlands, past wetlands and picnic groves, and along the riverbanks of the Des Plaines. It's a chance to see wildflowers and wildlife and get out into a quieter and slower world. I encourage everyone today to get to the boardwalk just a little bit north of here in Catherine Chevalier Woods at some point. It's really a unique experience in the Forest Preserves. And a group of us will be taking a walk up there just after this event. All of this has been done with the Des Plaines River Trail Advisory Group, as the President said, a partnership with municipalities along the river from Touhy to North Avenues, as well as organizations like the Active Trail Alliance. I want to again also thank Mayor Stevens, Mayor Peterson, and Mayor Kaifa for their vision, collaboration, and investments in this project. And we aren't done yet. All told, we expect to invest more than $70 million in improvements for this 28-mile trail system, including improvements to address flooding and improve safety between Irving Park and North Avenue. And finally, I want to thank Carlos Feliciano of IDOT, the staff at the Forest Preserves, and the team from Christopher Burke Engineering, who have been really committed to getting this project done and improving this trail. So thank you to Pam Selsky, Chris Slattery, Dan White, Craig Billington, and Nick Kuhn from our Forest Preserve team. And thank you to Michael Kerr, Jason Sudin, Melissa McGee, Mark Thomas, and their entire team at Christopher Burke. So many people will long enjoy all your good work to improve this beautiful trail. And now I would like to introduce Commissioner Maggie Trevor.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Cook County Commissioner Maggie Trevor. I represent the 9th District, which includes this area. And it was really important for me to be here today for a number of reasons. One of which is that bicycle transportation. Thank you. Alternative forms of transportation, bicycle transportation, is something that's very, very important to me, as well as accessing the forest preserves. Talking to residents around here when I was knocking on doors, one of the things that I heard was that access here is really important, but the roads such as Lawrence Avenue and the east-west roads pose a real barrier, not only for getting back and forth within the forest preserves, but also just back and forth within this neighborhood. And this project does so much to address it. So it was really important for me to be here today. The other reason why it's really important for me to be here today is to introduce the next speaker, who I've happened to know for a very long time. Not only is he the mayor of Franklin Park, he's also my cousin. And I know, since I've known him all of my life, I know that the environment has been a passion of his for his whole life. And so I'm really happy to be able to celebrate this with him today, and also to introduce the driving force for this project, Franklin Park Mayor Barrett Peterson.
Thank you. It's true. Maggie's mom was really instrumental in getting me to do some of the things that we're doing here. You know, it's interesting. I discovered the trail not as the discoverer, but I discovered its use about 60 years ago when I was 7 years old, and I've been using it ever since. I often wondered why the water in the Des Plaines River wasn't as clean as the water in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan where I'd been fishing. So I came back and I got involved locally. Grew up in Franklin Park and then had children. My sons Graham and Dylan are here. And Graham and Dylan have both used the trail. In fact, I've got a picture of us 20-something years ago, and Dylan was so small he's on my back. We went to the Forest Preserve about in 2010 and said, hey, can we do something in Franklin? The Des Plaines River Trail is one of the last unimproved trails in Cook County. I'd been out to Bussy Woods. I'd been on the trails going up north, the ones leading all the way to Michigan. And I noticed that portions of the Des Plaines River were underwater, sometimes 60% of the year. And at that time, the Forest Preserve was building some campsites on the south side. I came back a couple years later, and Chris Slattery and Arnold Randall were nice enough to accept $1 million from the West Central Municipal Conference to get the job started if we used one of the engineers that they felt comfortable with. And we said, how about Christopher Burke Engineering? And they said, sure. And so Mike Kerr, who is the president of Christopher Burke Engineering and is a great cycling advocate himself, started working on the project. And Mike at that time said, hey, this is fantastic because we have a bike to work day every year, and our employees have the most difficulty getting to work from North Avenue to Devon. So this project should fit right in with their bike to work day. It's been wonderful working with the Park District and Mike Kerr. State Representative and Mayor Brad Stevens has been wonderful. Take a look at the bridge that Rosemont and the Forest Preserve worked with to build over Bryn Mawr. It really gives great access to that town, bringing people from the west side of the river to the east side of the river. And then every one of the mayors along there, Skip Saviano, Dave Guerin, Nick Kayafa, our friends in Park Ridge and Norridge, and even part of Chicago were involved in this. So thank you very much. Our next speaker was supposed to speak before me, and he's more important than I am. State Representative Bradley Stevens.
Nowhere near more important on this project. I just want a special call out for Barrett. Mayor Peterson was the driving force to get this project rolling with the folks at Cook County. He mentioned the bridge from Bryn Mawr Avenue that goes, and it was a joke, it was over the river into the woods. to grandmother's house, right? But many of the visitors that come and stay in the hotels in Rosemont have used that bridge, and they've gone across there and gained access to this trail, whether they're walking. Some of them actually walk over that bridge and down to Mariano's to get their groceries and come back. I've seen it. But this is a great project. This is all, again, Barrett, you started this, what was it, 2010-ish? Probably when he was 7 years old, but that's just the kind of guy he is. He stays with it and he makes sure it's done. So, again, honored to be here, honored to be a part of this project. That being said, I will introduce my counterpart in Schiller Park, Mayor Nick Chiaffa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to thank the Cook County Forest Preserve, the Cook County Board of Commissioners, the President, and all the elected officials in the area. This amazing amenity is connecting the walking path all the way from the Wisconsin border down to, I think it's going to end somewhere south of North Avenue, which makes it really just a safe place to walk, ride, and be a part of the community. So I thank you. Next speaker will be Mayor Dave Guerin.
Thanks, Mayor Nick. I'll keep it real short. This is just a great project. We're looking forward to the next phase going into River Grove. I know we just secured $325,000 for the engineering stage of the River Grove portion. It's the lowest portion of the trail, but a very important part of the trail. And we have Christopher Burke Engineering taking care of that. So thank you to the Cook County Board President and all the folks over there that keep this a priority. The trail system, the forest preserve is so important to this area. So thank you very much. And I don't think there's anybody else except Madam President. We'll have the Madam President come back up here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to have another round of applause for our elected officials who've joined us, please. Thank you. We're grateful. We're grateful to all of them for their help and hard work. All right, are there any questions? Where are you? Eileen, do you know? You want to come up?
Or Pam, do you want to talk about the next segment going south?
Would you introduce yourself?
Very important.
Gets us to Gene and Juice.
So segment 7 is the next segment that we have funding for. So there's federal funding for phase 2 engineering. And that is, let me think about this. There's a lot of segments here. Segment 2 is, wait.
All right, you want to
River,
come up?
wait, no. River Grove has ARPA funds for segment 2 for the section in River Grove, and then there's also construction funds that the Forest Preserve has. So when when the design engineering is done, we can move into construction. So that'll be the next segment that we'll be working on. But segment 4, which is just the end of here, from Lawrence to Irving, will start at this fall into next year. So they'll get us. Construction will start for the next segment, so Lawrence to Irving Park this fall.
All right, good. All right. Eileen and the mayor. Maggie?
Folks want photos, you should line up behind me. Don't get clear back.
Maggie? Next to your president.
Get photos?
Get your president's pocket.
Jump in here.
No, that's good.
All right. Now look this way. Everybody, look a little bit so we get everybody in the picture. There we go. Okay, good.
Not big enough.
right, wait, let's take our pictures first before we cut. All right, everybody, go. Yeah, all right. Could everybody line up and take their pictures?
Yep. All right, so we start here. Right here. We got a photo. All right, we can make room for other folks. Right here. Got a photo. Right, look right here.
Where?
Right here.
Here?
Right here. All right, anybody else want photos?
All right.
Cameras ready?
1, 2, 3. Doesn't work. All right, where's the other scissors? Here, wait, here. Here, forget it. Put those away.
Yeah, before somebody gets hurt.
All right, here we go.